Hi everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit subscribe down below. I've been giving away some freebies lately and you don't want to miss any of those. And if you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, then you'll get a notification anytime I put out a new video. So thank you all. What I wanted to offer you today is another freebie. I'm going to be making these angled tag pockets. I saw something similar on Pinterest and it took a little while to figure these out and measurements and whatnot, so I wanted to give you a template. The link is down below for the template. You have to go to my Flickr account, and what you will get is just this that you can cut out and use as a template to cut your paper. Okay, so that's what you'll get. But it's a lovely idea. This is a pocket, this is a pocket, this is a pocket, and this is a pocket. So we'll decorate one too after I finish making it. So you can put things in all of these. This is actually meant to have a tag in the top, and I just love it. So here's another one that I started to make. I think they look really nice, and you can put them in mini albums, put them in your journals, whatever. You can put little gift cards in them and mail them off to people too. So let me show you how to go about making these using your template. Let me put this little Tim Holtz guy away. So what you're going to get is this, and you're going to cut this piece out, which I already did. And I like to make my tags out of cardstock, and this is a craft cardstock. It's a nice neutral, so you can kind of leave it plain and ink it up. I just use this for everything. These are the base of most of my mini albums is either craft or black, and I get it at Create for Less. But anyway, you'll see that there is a line down the middle, and that's where you want to take your scoreboard if you have one, or if you don't have one, that's okay. Let's see if I can fix my lighting. Okay, and you just take at that line and you just fold over. And there's your first flap. Let me get this out of the way. And I didn't do that quite correctly. You might, if you don't score in the right place, you might have a little bit of an overlap, and that's okay. We'll just cut that off. Okay. And I have a pencil line up here too, which I guess doesn't matter, but from when I was trying to measure the whole thing out. Okay. So that's your first step, is just to cut this out and fold this over. Now, because these are sewn, which you don't have to sew yours if you don't want, but I did, you want to decorate this part before you close it up, whether you're sewing it or gluing it. So let's get a piece of paper for here, and I have some scrap paper. I really like this because it has the word journey in gold across the top, and I think that will be very pretty. So this piece here is going to be, well, because I didn't fold mine properly and cut it down, mine's different, but yours is going to be 2 3/4 wide by 2 1/2 tall. So I'm just going to cut off camera. Two and 3/4 by 2 1/2. Wait a minute, but mine is 2 1/2. Okay. Okay. Still didn't cut that quite right. I've got a little bit of an overhang there, but I can cut that off afterwards. And of course, I always ink everything with Tim Holtz Vintage Photo. And I'm just going to, you can glue or tape it down, whatever is your favorite adhesive. Okay. Okay, so there's your first piece. Then the second piece is going to be a decoration or a piece of scrap paper for here. And let me just trim this. There we go. Boy, I didn't fold this very neatly either. When I scored it, I was a little crooked. I just re-burnish that and fix it. Okay. Doesn't really matter because you're going to have a pocket on the bottom anyway, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist today for some reason. Okay. So the second piece we're going to put is here, and I think I prefer a little more of a solid color for this pocket here. I don't know why, but I know I'm going with something here and pattern paper here and pattern paper here, so I'm going to go for a little bit more of a solid color there. Let's see if I can find one in my scrap pile over here. This is nice. Kind of looks like leather. I like that. Okay. So this one is also going to be the width, or for you, 2 3/4 by 3. So 2 3/4 wide by 3 long. Okie dokie. This one you're also going to use adhesive to put it down. Now, I know it's a square and that's an angle. What we're going to do is align this corner with the upper edge here. And then we're going to glue it down, and then we're just going to cut it. We're going to trim it with our scissors. So I like to put adhesive across the edge, the top edge there. And then down the 3 sides on this. The other ones we're not going to adhere because they are going to be pockets. The tape is messy today. It's kind of bunching up. Okay, so we're going to put that. Wait, what did I do? Oh yeah, I did it right. Okay. We're going to just put that on the upper edge there. And align it like that. And let's open it up and trim. Ink it, of course. All right. Oh. Want a little more ink on this. Show more of a significant line there, a darker line. So the next thing you're going to do is take this piece right here, and I've already cut out my template. This piece you cut out from patterned paper. Okay, so these two you cut out from cardstock, and I'm using craft. This piece, patterned paper. So I'm going to use, if I have enough, let's see, do I have enough? Yay, I'm going to use another piece of this. I might use the reverse side this time because that goes really nicely. So which way is this going? It's going to go, so it's going to go, and of course I folded mine really bad, so I'm going to have to trim, but you want to, you don't have to do it this way. You can use this template however you want, but I want my angled pockets to go in a different direction for each one. You could put it down like this and have them be all the same, but I just kind of want to go the opposite. So I'm going to cut out my patterned paper. Just using my little template here. Boy, everything is sticking to my scissors today. There we go. Try this again. Okay. So if you cut all of your patterns out of heavier cardstock, you can just keep reusing them. So now we have this that's going to go there. Oh, look what I did. I didn't cut this long enough. Darn it. You see how some is showing right there? So I want to cut another piece of this if I have any. I take this off. I could use my undo, but this will be fine. Let me try that again. What did I do? Let's see. So this piece has to be 3.5 inches long. I think I did 3 before. Sorry, guys. 3.5 by 2 3/4. You can even do more than that. Doesn't matter. It's going to be covered. Okay. I think I did that right this time. Yeah. Okay, let's put this down again. So I have some exciting things happening in my studio. I finally got my shelves up. I've had the shelves, I'm ashamed to say, for 3 years. But as I've said over and over in my videos, we're trying to fix up a 150-year-old house. And so the shelves in my studio have not been a priority, but I finally decided these have got to get painted and put up. And I'm very excited about how it turned out. Living in Maine, Maine is a huge state for apples, and every fall we go apple picking and make pies and freeze apples for the winter and make apple butter and applesauce, and it's a big apple state. So I bought apple crates, and I saw a shelving unit on Pinterest made from apple crates, and so I stained some of them and I painted some of them, and they're in a really cool configuration up on my wall, and they're on 2 walls now. And I'm also waiting for a new camera setup, so when I get that, I'm planning on showing you the storage, the shelves that I did in my studio. And I'm also going to show you my new camera setup. I can't wait to get it. I think you'll all be interested because it's very unique. I I watched so many videos on YouTube about doing overhead craft videos like this, overhead YouTube videos, and um, I just didn't see anybody that had although there were some lovely people who shared their detail and everything, but I didn't see anything that worked for me specifically. So, being a musician, I started thinking about when I've been in studio, they have all kinds of configurations for microphones. And I thought, well, why can't I set this up like a sound studio but put a camera on it instead of a microphone? And I found the right stuff to be able to do that, and I'm super excited. So I want to show you that too. I'm going to show you my camera setup once that all gets done, but I'm still waiting for a few bits and pieces. So I have some cool shares that I'm going to be showing to you in the future. Okay, so I fixed that. This is what we have so far. This is the piece, let me make sure it's going the right way. Yep, this is the piece that I cut out of patterned paper. That goes down yet next, but you don't adhere it because this is going to be a pocket. So the next two pieces are going to get sewn on. And because I cut like a dork for some reason, I'll trim that. Okay, so that one goes on next, and notice that the edge does not go up at the corner there. Certainly you can if you like that look, but the measurement that I gave you is really meant to have that be at the bottom so that there's a little bit of a gap here. All right, then the next thing you're going to need, I guess I have to cut one, is this piece here, the smaller piece. I must have used my template. I'll have to write template on it so I don't sew it on every time. Okay. So we've got this, and I want to cut this one out of craft paper or cardstock, or you can use patterned paper too, whatever you'd like. My tea for today is nothing fancy. It's just plain black tea. I have a super long day ahead of me, and so I needed the caffeine today. Normally I go for the herbal blends, loose tea, and I make blends myself. But no, I need caffeine today. I've got rehearsal tonight. The rehearsal studio is 2 hours away from me. So it's a 4-hour round trip. We won't finish until at least 9, so I needed caffeine to get me through my day today. What I like to do with this little piece, let me make sure I have this at the right angle. This one goes like, okay, see I didn't. I had it upside down. So this one goes like this. Of course, as I said, you can put them all in the same direction because that's kind of a neat look too, right? But the look I'm going for right now is this. And I like to, what I've been doing is embossing the bottom piece. And I really like that look. So I just happen to have this little Sizzix Sidekick. I got this at a yard sale. I rarely use it, but I thought, hey, this is perfect because I can bring it over and you guys can see me do the embossing. Okay, I want it to go this way. So I have a little embossing folder. One side is going to emboss, the other side is going to deboss. I want the embossed or raised side on the top. And if you don't have an embosser, that's okay. You can use patterned paper. You can stamp on it. You can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you an idea of, oops, what I'm doing. Oh, I did it backwards. Dang it. It's debossed on this side. Rats! See, I can't talk and think at the same time, but I'll show you the difference. So then I like to ink it with my vintage photo. And look at how nice that comes out. I've been doing this on coffee stained paper too. Just beautiful. But on this craft cardstock with the vintage photo, it really makes it, whoop, fumble fingers, it really makes it look like, kind of like leather. Oh my goodness. It makes it look like leather. And I really like it. But I did it backwards, so I'm going to do the deboss side. And that's okay too. It will ink up. It just isn't going to look like what I was going for. And this would also be pretty with colored ink too. It doesn't have to be the vintage photo. Try different colors. With the debossed side too, if you are a painter or a drawer, you can go in and paint the flowers and the leaves or whatever you're using for an embosser. Okay. And then this is going on here. Okay, this is our final look. And this is the point where you do sewing. Now, I can't take you over to my sewing machine right now. I'm hoping with my new camera setup I will be able to. But this is what we have so far. Okay, everything's attached but these two pieces. And now you're going to sew down the sides, the bottom, both sides, and the bottom. You can sew across the top too if you want it to look decorative. Now, what I like to do, the one thing I noticed when I was doing these prototypes is that you can't sew too far in. On this, I sewed too far in. So, where'd my tag go? Here it is. So, I can't stick my tag in there. See, I didn't leave enough width. So, what I decided to do was, I think this is called a blanket stitch. On my Brother, which I think a lot of you have, that Brother from Walmart. What is it called? I don't know. But it's stitch number 8 on the Brother, on most of the Brothers, the one that has 100 stitches. And what this blanket stitch does is, you see how it stitches over the edge? I hope you can see that. Okay, so it goes over the edge of your paper. And so that's what I did here. See, so it's actually sewn over the edge. And that way you get more width. You could also just do a straight stitch. I did a straight stitch on the bottom and just keep it super close to the edge. That works too. So the next step, if you want, is to take this over to your sewing machine and sew it, or you can take adhesive and just adhere the sides and the bottom so that you create 2 pockets. And then this all gets put together. Okay, and then you would also have to put adhesive here to stick this down. Okay, so this is what we end up with. Let's pretend that I took this over to the sewing machine and sewed it, and this is what you end up with. I would like, let's decorate it. I would like to punch a hole in the top. And I'll probably put a piece of ribbon through that. And then I have in this old wooden cigar box from the Dominican Republic, that Cuban cigars. I really liked this. Found it at a thrift store, an antique store or something. I have all of my Tim Holtz die cuts in here. So, well, I threw him in, but we could, you could put this guy in there. You could have some flowers sticking out, depending on what kind of look you're going for. I'm going to have him sticking out. And then you could do, no, let's see. I think what I'd like is a smaller tag here, and I did pull out some tags. Let's see if I have a nice tiny one that would fit in there. I group all of my items by theme and color. When you'll have to watch use my scraps videos. I show all my organization, but then I put these clips on them, and I have a wheel that they all hang on. And I'll show you that when I get my new camera. But here's a little tag. That might look okay. I don't want a blue one. This round one might look cool. Yeah, let's put a round one in there. I like that. I'm trying not to sniffle. I'm trying very hard because I noticed in my past few wintertime videos I've been sniffling every 5 seconds. And it's so hard not to. I'm trying not to, but heating season, it's just so dry. And it's kind of like not scratching an itch. I really want to sniffle, you guys. But it sounded so rude, and I apologize for my other videos. Just winter. It's been a rough one, weather-wise. These would look really pretty with different bright colored papers too. I always go for the vintagey look, you know me. It's just what I really like. And it's what I have available to me in my studio. I don't have a lot of brightness in here. I have old vintagey. So you use what you have, right? And let's put a hole in that. There, I like that. And then we can put, hopefully I sewed this properly so the tag fits in there, which it does. See, that's going to look so nice. So let me get some scrap paper, close up my Tim Holtz box. Actually, does this fit? Nope. These are a couple of, they almost fit. Yeah, these are from my illuminated calligraphy kit. I had some extras left over. Oh, how about this paper again? I like that. Let's do it. I just try not to be annoying. Everybody has these bad little habits that kind of really drive me crazy on YouTube videos, like saying like every 5 seconds and just repeating the same words over and over and over, like bad grammar habits. So I'm trying not to do that in my videos, but we all have them. Like my mother said that I say paper really funny. So now I'm all self-conscious about that. Oh. But there's this one person and she has the greatest ideas and I would enjoy watching her, but I can't stand the and like and you know and like you know and so you know oh it's just one of my peeves. I'm sorry. I am not saying I am perfect by any means. I've got my own. I sniffle and, and say paper funny. But I'm trying to be professional in my way of speaking. I'm trying, okay? I'll probably get all kinds of comments down below. And you know what you do that's so annoying? Actually, I wouldn't mind knowing because I'd like to correct it if I'm doing something super annoying. And let's see. I like that. Isn't that nice? So let me go get my little ribbon scraps box. Hang on, forgot to bring that over. I don't know if you saw, sometime this winter I was really, really sick and I was in bed for days, which I don't do well. And so I took all of my ribbon. I did show this in another video. And I wrapped it around and put it on cardboard cards. And it's so organized now. I love it. And then this is just a cardboard box, and then I decorated it with some sewing paper that I had. And this is really nice because when I'm looking for something specific, I can go through it. But unfortunately, I still had all of these scraps left over that I couldn't find, that they really weren't big enough to wrap around the piece of cardboard. So I'm trying to get through these. I wonder if I'd want to use a piece of raffia on this. That might look nice. How about if we put that on the top here? Let me make sure I get back on camera. Trim that down. Oops, that's very uneven. Look at that. Okay. And then we need a little piece of something here. Another piece perhaps, or is that too much? Maybe another piece here. A little tiny piece on our little bottom tag. I usually just do a slip knot because I'm terrible at bows. But if you can do a fancy bow, more power to you. I say go for it. But I'm just a fumble fingers when it comes to little things. There, so there's just, oh, I like that. And then we just need a little piece on here. What have we got? This kind of goes a little bit. This color goes really nicely with that. I hope this video is not ending up too long. I was trying to make this a quick tutorial. Shouldn't take you long at all to make a bunch of these once you get going. I like to have just an assembly line, so I'll cut out a whole bunch of these and then I'll do it in steps. Put this in there. There, and how nice is that? So there's our final tag. I love it. Great. So head on over to my Flickr account. The link is going to be below, and you can get this template. Of course, mine is mutilated at this point. And I would love to know what you think of the video and of the tag. They come out awfully pretty. I like them. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.